Welcome to Queer Conversations. Greetings, everyone. I'm Gia Verdi TV, and this show is every Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST, right here on Verdi TV. Please like this page. Please share this conversation. My guest today is SD Wright. Welcome.
Thank you.
She's my pleasure. She's a freedom fighter, and she is an organizer. And today we're going to talk about being Black, queer, challenges with Christianity, and being Caribbean.
Yes.
Right. So let's start with greeting everybody who's on. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thank you. Ask any questions, join the conversation, share the conversation. So we'll start with where you're from. You are from?
I am from Nassau, Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Yes.
So, and what was it like for you growing up in the Bahamas?
Well, I didn't really grow up in the Bahamas. I grew up here. I grew up in Miami.
In Miami.
Yes.
Okay. So you're like Bahamian American.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this show shares LGBTQ stories. LGBTQ is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. Hey, Carlene. Carlene tunes in like every episode from Jamaica. And David Muir is every episode from right here. So maybe how do you identify?
Non-binary.
Non-binary?
Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of sexuality?
For me, I don't have like a problem with the body that I'm here in.
Okay.
But I don't really have a definition or a label for those things.
So no label?
No label. Totally
no label.
just spirit, yeah. I just vibe off of spirit.
Okay. So we said we're going to be talking about like being challenges with being Christian, growing up in a Christian culture, and being who you are.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So what are you Christian now?
Well, I don't claim any religion.
Okay.
There are definitely a lot of amazing things that I was exposed to and that I hold on and hold dear to me from Christianity, but I'm definitely a spiritual person right now.
Okay. And how did Christianity impact you in your childhood? Because you grew up in a Christian household?
Yes.
Culture?
Yes.
And what was that like for you?
Very strict.
Okay.
And sometimes very scary because being a part of the spirit world sometimes in Christianity can come across as scary. And you should like fear certain things and not be accepting of being in tune with the actual universe. Like you're supposed to live in the spirit, like meaning be good and cheerful, but when it comes to like actually connecting with the spirit world and terms like meditation and stuff come up, it's just like, hold on, wait a minute now. Are we still talking about Jesus? Okay.
So you felt like you could be, there's like fear maybe?
Yes, because I was aware of different energies and like I'm just like a spiritual person, so I can tune into different, I guess they refer to as like spirits. And
do you think it's African in some way? And there's like a fear of that?
I think some people fear things that they deem as African, yes.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Carlene, yes, she said she missed me at Pride. I heard it was good. Yeah, happy Pride, Jamaica. This has been Pride Week, well, last week till, I guess perhaps yesterday was Pride in Jamaica. Big up J-Flag and everybody. I would love to be there. I'm going to aim to get there next year. I'm glad it was great. I saw a lot of great images. And happy independence to Jamaica. We have independence, we have emancipation, and we have Pride. It's like Pride Month for Jamaica. And see, Rich is joining. Hey, Rich. Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you have a question, then ask. I'm like, ask SD. I'm like, Tiffany. Ask SD any questions that you'd like to ask. So challenges with Christianity and being who you are.
Gay is a no-no. Like you're going straight to hell and you're gonna burn for like all eternity.
So let me ask you this: did you believe that was true at some point?
Yes. Like, oh my gosh, like I got baptized when I was like 11 or 12.
Wow.
I would go to middle school. I would minister to my friends. So like I was like that Christian. Like not going to, like, church was a form of punishment for me sometimes. Like they know, like if I couldn't go to church, like I would feel some type of way. So
you wanted to go to church?
I wanted to go to church.
Okay.
So like how you would take a kid's iPhone or something.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
well, you know
church
what?
Was that good?
Yeah, like I was into it, and then I had a difficult childhood, and so it was a refuge for me as well.
That makes sense. So how did it go from I'm excited to go to feeling like it's not a welcoming place for you?
Because it just was not a welcoming place. Because
Eventually.
older I became, the more it was hard to deny. Like when you're 11 and 12 and you see an attractive woman walk by, I'm like, no, go to hell for that. But the older I get, I'm like, listen, what is your name? Okay? Like,
right. So, yeah. So what age did you know, like, that you were attracted to women?
Oh, I always knew. Like, my first crush was, like, on, my second grade teacher.
Wow.
This Black American woman. Like, she was just beautiful.
So
I've always known. And so it's always been, like, a conflict.
Okay.
It's always been don't say anything, don't tell anyone, don't act on it. And it took me until I was like 19 and maybe dating like a guy or two to say, you know what, I see what this relationship thing is, and if I'm gonna deal with it, might as well go ahead and be like happy.
Okay, good. And did you have like a coming out, like whether to your family or the church or anything like that?
Well, I just decided to be me. I never officially came out, but I was spotted by a relative with my girlfriend at the time, and so I received a phone call, and well, actually, I didn't know that my relative saw my partner. Okay. And so when my relative was having a wedding, and my partner was not gonna be wearing a dress, like it was just not happening. But she was gonna escort me to the wedding. I was singing in the wedding, and so I was trying to figure out how to tell my family I was coming with my friend. And so when I called, I didn't notice that I never said the word gay, girlfriend, like any of that stuff. And my aunt was just like, yes. Well, sweetie, you just speak you. And then like years later, it came out that my cousin had called, and I told everyone, so they were expecting a phone call. Okay. And how are they about that? They were fine, ironically. It wasn't until recent years that I reconnected with my Bahamian family, and so that was the coming out. That was hard for me. And why was that hard? Again, deeply rooted in Christianity. Like, my brother was literally crying, saying like he wanted me to go to heaven, and he just doesn't want me to go to hell. And my sister was like, and left out of the chat group. And so I started crying because I have never given like two fucks about it before, ever. Like, I was like always me. Right. But then reconnecting so much with my family, and then loving it and thinking, hold on, like there's a chance like they may actually not deal with me now because of this. And it was when they passed gay marriage, and so they were making like some comments like Caribbean people do, mash them up and bring them cutlass and chop them up and this and that. And I was just like, well, I'm right. So so I never really came out. I did get outed. Okay. Well, sorry about that experience. I see here Rich is saying that you can sing. I didn't know that. How do I not see that part? Like, you didn't put that in the bio. Yeah, I did. Oh, you did? You didn't? Did not. Okay, I don't know why. I think I have some internal issues with the singing. It's like tied to my mother, and I've never really 100% had confidence in my voice, no matter how many times people stop me on the street or follow me in a grocery store, or no matter how many times people are like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Wow. It's like, what kind of music? Whatever. I love like soul, R&B, old school. If it's like some Anita Baker, I'm singing. Anita Baker. But if it's like someone new like SZA, I probably don't know the words. Okay, yeah, and I barely know that person, but I've heard of her. I've heard of her at least. Yeah. So I do sing, but I try not to put such emphasis on it as far as like maybe a profession. Okay. Because I probably speak well and not get nervous if I'm speaking in front of a group, but when it's time to sing, it's like, challenging. Okay.
Excuse me, I was wondering if you're going to sing with us now.
You're in my head.
I was trying to get your attention, but since you're not looking, we just need something. Just some proof that you actually can.
Okay, so SD is being encouraged to sing a little bit. Are you comfortable doing it? Okay, sure, I'll do it. Okay. If you need me to harmonize, I can't sing it all. I will destroy it. So let's see. Let me help you take off your shoes, untie your shoestrings, take off your cufflinks. What you wanna eat, boy? Let me feed you. Let me run your bath water, whatever you desire. I'll supply ya. Sing you a song, turning game on. I'll brush your hair, put your do-rag on. Want a foot rub, you want a manicure.
Baby, I'm yours, I wanna cater to you.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. You don't want to be shy about that. That's a great voice.
Inside
you have a good
now, I'm
voice.
just like really shy
Wow.
and nervous, but I'm like, hey.
Oh, see, Tiffany, you got people here saying they didn't know. You got your friends
Hey,
in know.
Tiffany, hey!
Yes,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Rich is right. You can sing. That's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you for that, Rich.
Yeah, we have. Well, Virgin TV. In addition to producing the show, we also produce an event called Thou Art Woman. Everybody here hopefully has heard of it. And our next one is going to be March 2019. And we have an open mic portion.
Mm-hmm.
You should come, hit the stage and sing, perform,
Okay.
you know?
Are you
Yeah.
coming, Rich? You know, since you put me out there, you know, you coming, Tiff?
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Okay.
Yeah. So, no, Rich has been to nearly all of them.
Mhm.
You know, once he's available to, like, here and able to come,
Mhm.
he's been there. And he's performed. He generally will, like, read. He's read, like, Audre Lorde, maybe Maya Angelou, and so on. So, yeah, you gotta hit the stage. That's
Okay,
good.
okay.
And you feel more relaxed after that? You feel?
I do.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Because initially when you said sing, I was
Ah,
like, who said it? Who
I was
said it?
thinking it, and
Who
then
said
David
it?
is like, he's in my head. He's like, why not have it? Yeah, I like that. So yeah, group trip up to Fort Lauderdale.
We can do that.
Yeah, are you?
I'm in Miami.
You're in Miami. So
I'm
yeah,
in Miami.
you gotta bring a whole contingent from Miami to come up to the Art
Open
Woman.
mic.
Yeah, open mic. Come on up. So now other things. You work a lot with immigration issues.
Yes.
Okay, and in particular.
In particular, undocumented Black, queer, and trans.
Wow, this is a very, I guess, unique group.
Yes, this is the group that tends to be at the bottom of the totem
Right,
pole. No
yeah.
one wants to help, you know, when there are decisions being made as far as laws and policies. Trans people tend to get left out. Black folk in general tend to get left out. Youth tend to get left out. People forget that youth are just as impacted, especially if they're undocumented.
Yeah.
And undocumented people are sort of like people who don't have their rights to vote. They can't vote, so they definitely get left out of the
So how do
conversation
you
a lot.
find these folks to help them? Like,
Well, I would say like around 2016, I went to a convening here in Miami that was aimed specifically at Black immigrants. And because of the turnout, the people that put that group together decided to found a group called Undocumented Black Network.
okay,
And so through the Undocumented Black Network, I have been able to be exposed to different amazing organizations like the Inconformista Collective.
okay.
Tiffany introduced me to
Yeah,
that. Oh my gosh.
Inconformistas.
Yes.
Yes, and we'll talk a little bit about that too.
Yes, it's a great collective. Also, Dream Defenders. There's BLMP, Black LGBTQIA
Wow.
Migrant Project.
Okay.
There's like
What's the
5G.
name of the first one that you mentioned?
Undocumented Black Network.
Is there a website for
They are on Facebook.
So on
They do
Facebook,
have-
how do you spell it?
UNDOCU.
See you.
Undocu and then Black.
Okay,
And then
you have a
network.
dash between
Yes,
the black?
there's a dash.
So undocu dash black. Yes, so and Rich is pointing out, yes, Thou Art Woman is going to be a weekend. Friday night's going to be a nice mixer, art, and nice little delights to eat and see. And Saturday is open mic night and big performance night. And Sunday is going to be a nice brunch. So we're going to be updating
love
everybody.
brunch.
Yeah, everybody loves a brunch.
Definitely a brunch girl.
Yeah. We look forward to that. So everybody please follow Thou Art Woman, Facebook and Instagram, because we're going to be updating people there. So, Nikki, you found and let's big up Nikki Lopez, who's here helping behind the scenes. Okay, and here Tiffany put it, the Undocu Black.
And there's also BAJI, Black
Wow.
Alliance for Just
Okay.
Just Immigration. There's a lot of amazing networks
Wow.
out there. that
So this
we
is
post.
good for a couple of reasons. People who are falling within this population and don't know how to get help, that these organizations can help them. And then people who want to help those populations.
Yes.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier before we started that you had some concerns about how immigrants are viewed by Americans here and so on.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I think it's similar to some people in white America that live in certain areas and they've had major big corporation. For instance, the whole thing about coal, right? How
Okay.
they're like no longer a big boom business and a lot of like factories move out, right? So
Okay.
then immigrants have certain jobs. So then white people blame immigrants for them not working, but they don't blame the huge factories that moved out.
Right,
They
okay.
don't blame like the coal industry.
Right.
They would rather blame those people. So there are some people in the black community that view immigrants in a negative way, and even black immigrants. And
Okay.
it's just like they're not looking into the anti-blackness, right? That
Right.
causes a lot of issues for black people in general in this country. So anti-blackness has definitely made a way to hinder black Americans here and allow other cultures to maneuver forward. But those other cultures are also still being oppressed as well. So it's like you may be a culture of immigrants, you may be like Korean, or you may be from, you know, Latin America, but white supremacy is not allowing for anyone other than, you know,
White
privileged
people.
white people to move forward. So we're all having like feet on our neck. So it's anti-blackness, in my opinion, that
Okay.
should be targeted, and white supremacy, and not like people that choose to move forward in life the best way that
So
they
you're
can.
saying like black Americans and black people from the Caribbean everywhere else shouldn't really be distinguishing ourselves differently. Like we're all in some
Yeah.
ways in the same boat.
Yeah, because when we step outside and a police officer wants to shoot us, like we're all black.
Right, they're not like, excuse
Like,
me, are
he's
you
not
from
like, you're
Jamaica,
Jamaican. Yeah,
Bahamas,
yeah,
or
yeah.
New York City?
You know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
they're
good
not
point.
trying to. They're not trying
But
to.
do you
make
feel that people still, because I know, like, you know, my family's been from the 1900s early and into just back and forth between Jamaica and America, and I've always heard like that African Americans back then were like black Americans don't like Jamaicans, and I haven't been feeling that of recent. But do you feel that's still going on?
No, I don't feel like it's like that. I feel like in some situations, not all, like as long as you're their Jamaican buddy and we can go to dance hall and we can go to the club, we're good.
Okay.
But then when a conversation about immigration comes on TV, black Americans sometimes can't help but but remember how they've been hindered here. So sometimes it seems unfair when other cultures get assistance and they get
Okay.
help, especially when it's still in a climate where black people are getting murdered at an
Yeah.
alarming rate. So like I totally understand every side of the spectrum, but
Right.
what I want people to do from other cultures and black Americans is like remember that we're all humans. Like
Right.
let's target the actual issue,
Right.
which is the
Like,
white supremacy.
we're not the issue. Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
as human beings, we're not the issue. You know, like we can all celebrate our differences. I'm from the Bahamas. Hey, teach me how you make your peas and rice. You know, I'll teach you
Yeah.
how to make my conch salad. You
Okay,
know, like
great.
let's
I
celebrate
still,
the
I still haven't
differences.
learned to make the rice and peas, but I know how to use jerk seasoning and make everything taste pretty spicy. But
Okay,
that's
but
about it.
that's
but
something.
Yeah, but
You
yeah,
can bring something
yeah,
to the
I
table.
can bring
Okay,
something
okay.
to the. I can bring something to the table.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good point. And one thing also is for people from the Caribbean, sometimes I do feel that we might be a little judgmental of people who've
Oh,
been there.
definitely.
So like, for us to also have an understanding that African American experience is just so different from our experience. You know, I was just going through.
Yeah, we're all colonized. you
Yeah, I was just going through like clearing some drawer in my house, and I saw these Jamaican coins and bills that I just still have. And there's black people all over the money, and I just thought of that. This is just earlier today. I was like, "What's this?" And like, "What do I do with it?" And just even things that were black people haven't seen that for themselves here. Just
Yeah.
different things, you know. Jamaica and Bahamas is mostly a black population, so we just have a very different experience.
Like in the Bahamas, we still have the queen on the money.
Oh,
know what I
wow,
mean?
you
So
do
we're
have the
all
queen?
colonized. However, there are
Why
black
you guys
people.
still have the queen
There
and the
are
money?
black. There's still some dollars going around with
Okay.
the queen on it.
Okay, well,
I don't know if that's current, you know, because I haven't been
Yeah,
home in
okay.
years. But there's still some, you know. But there is like black
Yeah.
people on the money now.
you have some black
as
people. I would think
well.
so. Yeah.
So that's true, and it's hard because you can see like a Bank of Korea here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like it's this whole systemic situation where every time, from the time slavery was abolished up until now, that black people in this country have progressed,
Mhm.
like privileged white people, white supremacy, like they've found a way to like tear black people down.
Yeah.
From giving them the 40 acres and a mule to taking it right back.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like it's the law. Like how are you gonna come back and take the land and the mule back?
Right.
So the thing is, like some people in other cultures and Latin America and in the Caribbean, like they judge black Americans, but they won't do the work either and go back and see why a black person is
Right.
saying, I'm not going to clean that white man's ass for him,
Lord.
right? because
Yeah.
their grandmother had
Yeah.
the white man, he
Yeah.
would rather die than have a black person touch him, and he's throwing the whole pan of piss in the grandmother's face.
Mm.
So they don't want to do it like the same way like Black Americans. Sometimes some of them won't like educate themselves on immigration so
Right.
that they can be a part of the conversation.
Right.
Because if you're a part of the conversation and you've educated yourself, I will respect your opinion at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah.
I will. But if you know nothing about it, and then, because I had a young lady make a derogatory, reply on one of my posts on Facebook
Okay.
saying like, oh, I wish I could just go to another country and pick up and have a better life. And I was like, I was brought here as a minor. Like, I was homeless in high school. Like, I fought to be like where I am right now. Like, nobody handed me anything just because I'm an immigrant.
Right.
And it's
a lot of
the
work.
same thing.
I see Rich here saying he once gave a Black American person a Jamaican coin with Marcus Garvey on it, and they nearly cried. Yeah, we had. I don't
Yeah.
know. We had a 50-cent coin. I know we don't have coins anymore like that in Jamaica, like a 50 cents. We don't have a 50-cent coin.
No,
There's like a $10 coin now,
$10 coin.
and 20 and maybe $50 coin. But Marcus Garvey was on a 50-cent all my childhood, and I think he's on. Is Marcus Garvey on something now still? I'm not sure, but we grew up with now they have Nanny Maroons for years. Leader of the Maroons has been on the money. So I think things like that, just like seeing reflections of yourself, being in the majority, not the minority. I mean, Jamaica still, and the Caribbean still has many issues, like you said, the Queen, and we've been indoctrinated in many ways. We have shade issues, hair issues, all these things, but I think we're just in a little...
Look at the years we're celebrating independence for,
Yeah.
versus the American independence.
Right,
which is
right.
not our independence.
No. Yeah, so, because Jamaica's 1962, I don't know Bahamas when it is, do you know? It's probably around that same time.
It's around that time.
Yeah, because I think of many of the
Like,
British
we're not
colonies.
too far behind.
Yeah. And then being Black and queer, and you're young, what is it like there now, like in that community?
I think that it's a great thing that more people are realizing how Black people kind of ushered in the whole LGBT
Yeah.
movement.
Okay, nice.
Because a lot of people think that it's like the predominantly white movement, and it didn't start out that way. But there's more liberation now versus growing up, the hiding, and people think that if you dress more in a femme way, if you identify as being femme, that you're not targeted as much.
Right.
But I have definitely been exposed to that, men feeling like, how dare I be with a woman that looks a certain way, I'm a femme woman, I should be with a man, and hearing things like, oh, if you're a woman, if you want to dress like a man, I'll kick your ass like a man. Like,
So you're saying that's how it used to be? More? Or-
I think that it's not tolerated as much now.
Okay.
But growing up, it was definitely a negative thing to be
Okay.
carried.
So you mean it's more tolerated now?
Yes.
Yeah, more tolerated,
tolerated
now.
now.
Okay, so back in, and I know what you mean, like you're saying, like the way I'm dressing now
Yeah.
would have been harder,
Mhm.
but, a lot of people went through a lot,
Yes.
and challenges and
I mean, there were celebrities, actresses, actors, like, who died and,
Yeah.
like, never was able to fully be themselves.
Right, a lot of
because it
people,
just was
yeah,
not
yeah.
accepted.
Yeah, there are people right now who are still not able to be themselves, but it's a better place. Especially if you're in America, this is a great time. It's a great time to be gay.
Yes.
It really is to be queer. It really is. I mean, it's challenges because of families and religion and so on. But I don't know if there's ever been a better time at all. So Richard is saying here, okay, Marcus Garvey is now on the $10 and $20 coin.
Wow.
In Jamaica, so that's great. I think America's
That's a great
looking at
accomplishment.
getting Harriet Tubman. I've seen something.
They
yeah.
have brought that up.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing
that would be great.
if they did.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe Oprah. Let's see. So yeah. So tell us a little bit about. I know we had Tiffany here, and she talked a little about inconformistas.
Inconformistas. Yes,
Inconformistas collective. What is that about? And like, how many people you have, and what are you guys doing, and how do people
Well,
get
I'm
involved?
new to the group,
Okay, you're
so
new.
I
Okay.
don't know like the entire history.
Okay.
I just know that it's an amazing space where, women, people that identify as femme, and some people that identify, like non-binary.
Okay.
We come and we discuss political issues, community issues, solutions. We discuss restorative justice. Some people would rather take a village approach versus getting the police involved, especially when it's dealing with people of color.
Right.
It's a very relaxed space.
Okay.
We, have a little wine. We have some food.
How often are you meeting?
It's about once a month.
Okay, that's great. And how do people learn more about it? Is it like on Facebook?
It is
or-
definitely on Facebook.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
That's INCONFIRMISTA, I believe. In
Conformistas. I think I have it here. You got that,
And
Nikki?
actually, the one for July I hosted, it was on healing, health, wellness, and mindfulness. So
Okay.
that's a passion of mine, bringing mindfulness and wellness into certain spaces, especially in the communities,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of tension going on right now, not only with immigration, but also with police brutality and still anti-blackness, like in
Okay.
every form.
So, talk a little bit about, let me see, hold on, we'll do this. But I want to actually talk a little bit about mindfulness and what that is. But,
Okay.
Carlene, I have a business here and it's suffering so bad because I'm gay. It's still so hard, but it's not as bad as before. Well, sorry to hear that. If there's anything that we can do to help, we'd love to support your business, you know. Either post something here about it or message me, and if there's anything we can do to get you more support, you know. But glad it's getting better than before. Thank you. We got the lights. I don't know if you still like we were getting lost with the sun, so thank you. But yeah, what is mindfulness? I've been hearing about it, and I've gone to a couple different like seminars, and there's stuff about mindfulness. But for people who don't know, what
For
is
me,
it?
mindfulness is about just that, like being mindful, being aware, and mainly of yourself.
Okay.
Because if you know like yourself, like what ticks you off, what triggers you, what makes you sad, what makes you aggressive, what makes you angry,
Right.
you're aware of those things now, and so then you can move forward in how do I deal with those things? Like
Right.
when I'm feeling angry, what if I'm at work? I shouldn't be acting aggressively at work.
Right.
So mindfulness is about taking time out to be present in the moment, regardless of if it's prayer, meditation, chanting, like just making sure that your mind is on point. Because like sometimes people say don't think with your heart, think with your mind, but no matter what you think about and how you think, it starts with your mind.
Right.
And mental stability is so important.
Yeah, I think we're often like in the autopilot, you know, like I know I jump in my car and it's like gone, or you know, whatever we're doing, we're on our phones and we're doing something else, so we're not really like being as conscious of what we're doing.
Yes.
You know, you're like, did I open the fridge and did I close that? You
Yes.
know, like
you're like your
just
arrival point, and
yeah.
you don't even remember getting
yeah,
there.
exactly. Like, you know,
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, I've been seeing more and more about mindfulness.
Yeah.
What's
and it's tools to help, because a lot of people right now are depressed. A lot of people right now are
so much
angry.
more. I don't know if people are just more comfortable to share that they're depressed, or if there's more depression. I don't know.
I
But
think it's both, to be honest with you.
a little bit more. Like people are more comfortable.
Yes.
Which is good. I mean, I think nearly every day I see someone posting about depression, where there's a time where people will have shame around it and won't talk about it and so on, and now people are posting it. And then it's just, it's ironic with social media that people are feeling more and more isolated. You know, you think people feel more connected.
Yeah, because the thing is, you can have 1 million likes, but it's better to have 1 million hugs.
Right? Yeah.
It's better to have like an actual human being
Right.
sit and listen to you versus ask you how you're doing, and you can't really give your whole life story.
Yeah, and then someone told me, a couple people have told me that when they see people posting like great things, that they think that their life is not good enough. So it's like, oh man, that person got an A, and it's like, I'm not even in school, or they bought a house and I'm homeless,
Tiffany
you know?
says yes,
Tiffany says, yes, I live in my head so much, but practicing mindfulness allows me to get more grounded and centered. That's good.
Yes. Because the thing is, it's not like you're not gonna experience human emotions, right? Like there's nothing new under the sun from the beginning of time to now. Depression, anger,
Always been there.
You know, emotional roller coaster has always been there, but you can deal with it. And I find that the most spiritual, grounded people that I'm in contact with, I really have to like keep in contact with them and make sure they're doing okay. Because just because you have the tools, you can watch OWN Network all day, you can have 1 million, you know, Eon Levant books, but we're still human.
Right,
And you're still gonna feel the type of way. And there's still a huge thing about loneliness out there. Like you can know 1 million people, but
people
loneliness
still
is
feel
like
isolated. Yeah, and it's good to enjoy your own company and be alone, but then loneliness is different. Right?
Yeah, eventually you're gonna want to make some human contact.
Of course, we definitely need human contact. So, wow, it looks so beautiful now. You saw when the sun was going, and now I'm like, yeah, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that.
Thank you,
So,
David.
yeah. So we're gonna be wrapping up. I close with what I call Queer Conversation Closing Questions.
I think before you go deep into your closing stuff, maybe we get another little bit of song. I think.
You want more music? What's our time like? Mr. DJ, how much?
6:30.
Oh, okay. So, how you feel? You want to do another song or you don't want to do another song?
I don't mind.
You don't mind? If you don't mind, let's do it.
I
Do
don't
another
mind.
one.
Let's think. Do you?
I wonder if I should do closing questions and then the song.
Yeah, let's get some
Let's do the
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Give
so.
us the closing answers with John.
Okay. Okay, so Richard here, another DJ, says more music. Okay, so we'll do Queer Conversation Closing Questions. I'll thank her and then you sing and I'll just end it there. And thank you. No, first, okay, so what inspires you?
Love.
Love, great. What makes you laugh?
Oh, wow. Silly people make me laugh. A lot of things make me laugh. I just like when people are genuine and they're silly.
Silly.
Yeah. And the truth makes me laugh.
Okay.
When people make fun of the truth, that
Yes,
makes me laugh.
that makes me
yeah.
laugh too. Yes, I know what you mean. And what's sexy?
What's sexy to me is ghetto classy women.
that makes me laugh. That's
properly.
great.
Yes.
That sounds good. Say that again. So women who are
Ghetto classy women that you can take anywhere. Like,
Okay.
you know, you
And
can
that's
be in the
sexy.
presence of an Indian like a lawyer, Indian chief, lawyers, doctors, like, hey, wherever you are around the world, like
Yeah.
someone that can relate to you,
I love
whatever
that.
like being a homie is to you, wherever you're
Okay.
from, whatever your culture is, you know.
Okay, ghetto classy. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, so thanks for joining me and sharing your story here on Queer Conversations. We're here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST on this station here on Facebook, Verity TV. Please like the page. Thank you, everybody here who's watching. Thank you. Please share. Thanks for joining the conversation. Tune in every Tuesday. And we're going to close with SD right here serenading us.
Okay. So this is the song I wrote.
Oh, nice.
Called Maze.
Maze, an original.
Yes. I'm all alone in the corner of a maze trying to figure out if it's okay to go on or should I throw in the towel. I can do without all the heartache and the pains of this world. I can take not belonging to no one, nowhere. If I get up again and try this one more time, can you promise me there'll be no more dead ends?
Woo! Love it. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Okay.